All right, have and have not fans, I have to say that I'm almost Veronica out. I mean, I feel like over the past few weeks, I've been doing so many Veronica videos, especially a few days ago when that magazine article came out and Angela Robertson did that interview. But I remember when there was a time when my channel, I remember getting a bunch of comments like, there's way too many Candace videos. But the thing was, Candace was the it character, especially when she found out that Quincy Jr. was dead. Charles turned out to be, Chucky, like a power guy or whatever. And yeah, I'm getting Veronica out, so I really can't wait for the season to start so we know what happens. But those videos are getting the most views. More views means more money, meaning that I can pay my rent. So hey, if the people want Veronica, we get Veronica. So Angela Robertson actually posted something on Instagram. I'm actually pulling it up here now, and I'm going to have the photos up on the screen pretty soon. Basically, it was her message, to her fan base saying like, as we say goodbye to 2017, here are 17 Ice Queen or Veronica moments. Let me see if I can find the exact post. Yeah, here we go. 17 Veronica moments to close 2017. Which was your fave? Happy New Year. Hashtag have and have nots. Ice Queen Veronica 2018. Bring it on. Some people are assuming that just because she made this post that it's clear evidence that Veronica is alive. But in my mind, that doesn't mean that she is alive. I want to say that I'm 70% sure that Veronica did survive the crash. I want to be honest here. But on the screen, let me just go through the photos. So this video really isn't much about confirmation so much as, kind of a look back at some of Veronica's moments from, season 1 to now. It's not just restricted to, hey, here are 17 moments from 2017. So I'm going to go through the pictures here. One photo has about 9 or 8 photos. The other one has 7. I don't know, but let's just go through it. First one we have at the top, we have David and Veronica in the hospital. Obviously after the whole Melissa situation of slicing her wrist, and that was a pretty interesting scene. I remember when Veronica was kind of rushing down the hallway saying that, hey, my man got arrested again. So that was pretty funny. And one thing I do think is weird about those scenes where it's like, Jim, David, Catherine, and Veronica, either 2, 3, or 4 of them together out in a public setting, and then they're verbally talking out loud about things they shouldn't, in terms of like, shooting the DA and killing this person and doing that. And I feel like in this Ice Queen Veronica moment, the relationship between David and Veronica is definitely ice cold. And I'm moving down to the left hand side. We have where Veronica is throwing Jeffrey and Melissa's engagement party, which was a perfect opportunity for us to see Melissa's father actually, outside of his hospital bed and walking around. Because remember, Melissa's mom and father were going to come to the engagement dinner, but it got interrupted by the whole situation about, Wyatt Wyatt, quote unquote, dying. Remember, at the time, it wasn't known that he was in a coma. Everybody thought he was legitimately dead. So that was one moment that was interesting, because I think that led up to her eventually getting stabbed by Jeffrey. All right, next moment we have here. Let's see. Of course, the scene where Melissa and Veronica are in the hospital. And this is probably one of the most important scenes, because this could lead into Veronica's fate, where she talks about threatening Melissa to put her in like a comatose state where she's alert to everything going around her, but she isn't able to move whatsoever. That could mean that Veronica might get paralyzed in the car wreck. I mean, that's one important scene in itself. And let's see what else we have here. Bottom left-hand corner, we have where Veronica's confronting Jeffrey. I believe that's after Justin followed Jeffrey to Veronica's house, and then Veronica confronted Justin for the first time. And that's when she went in the house, encountered Jeffrey in terms of, I can smell him on you. And then we go to the next scene where, if I'm not mistaken, was this in the... No, this wasn't in the finale. I think this is when Veronica meets up with Candace and Jeffrey at the Artesian Hotel, I believe is the name, and pretty much explain how they can get off of Quincy's murder, because the bank foreclosed on the house before the body was found. Then we get to the picture right beside that where, of course, Veronica shut it down in the finale, crushing the new DA George, and then eventually leading to the downfall of Jeffrey and Justin. Then we have the picture right beside that, which I believe is when Benny came over to her house for legal assistance. And in order to get help with the lawyer, it turns out that Benny would have to, I guess you could, well, honestly, the picture even above that one is also showing Benny. And that's when Veronica like puts her foot on his crotch, trying to, you know, persuade him, hey, you know what, if you want my help, then what we can do is make an arrangement. Obviously sex, but he wasn't having it, then he left. And the reason I skipped over this particular picture is the one right between Veronica and Melissa and Veronica and Benny, is because that was probably one of the most powerful Veronica scenes. Obviously it's a smaller picture, but it's the one where Veronica literally destroys the bar of the Sarandon Hotel and David's just standing there stone faced. And I feel like that was a clear indication that there was something definitely wrong with Veronica, and that was just a glimpse into what's to come. All right, as we move on to the next photo here, we have 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 photos. And it's going, yeah, so that means we had 9 on the other one. Sorry, bad at math. Obviously, the big moment of 2017 was the fight between Erica and Melissa in the elevator. David trying to break it up. But I think the picture in the middle is probably the biggest 2017 moment, when Jeffrey stabbed Veronica. Then we found out they were definitely implants, but she denies it. And which leads to the photo right below that, where we have Jeffrey and Veronica. I believe that's when Jeffrey's in the hospital with Wyatt while he's still in that coma, recovering from overdosing. And Veronica said that, I believe Jeffrey had his head on Wyatt's chest, and Veronica, like, again, just snuck out of nowhere. I was like, if your head was any lower, you'd be charged for something. I forgot what it was, but it was funny. And she even threatened Jeffrey's like, if you ever raise a hand to me again, boy, then your next visitor will make Quincy look like a walk in the park. And above that, of course, we have Veronica in the interrogation room after the death of Maggie Day. And she was in no condition to actually talk. And the funny part is that she was acting the entire time. You know, like she had no remorse whatsoever. Right above that's where we have Veronica handing Jeffrey the envelope back in season 2 with the black sedan. That was the first instance where we learned that Veronica would do whatever it took to get her son back in line, even with the threat of jail. Then we have the picture on the left hand side underneath the elevator fight, where we have Jeffrey. I believe this was when he was upset that Wyatt had Laura at Jim and Catherine's house, and he like literally tore a room apart, throwing stuff around. His like blazer and shirts in a mess. And that's when we really saw season 1 Veronica know that Jeffrey was gay, but wouldn't accept that. That was like the first instances of like, you're a man, Jeffrey. Talk with a deeper tone in your voice. Wear darker colors. No floral patterns or arrangements. Be a man. I was like, oh my God, that was funny. And then right below that is where we have Benny and Veronica having sex at the tow yard. And of course, we know that she was only doing that for the black sedan purpose. So overall, those are 17 moments of Veronica. Not the top 17, but just 17 moments in general. I feel like there are definitely some moments that Veronica had that are top tier, but they weren't in these photo montages. But I think my overall favorite scene was definitely the one. Oh, I skipped one. Right between the picture of the elevator fight and her with the black sedan envelope is when Maggie Day got shot, and then Veronica was like scared and then hid behind a cop car because the cop put her there. So we have that moment as well. But yeah, I feel like my favorite moment was definitely the Sarandon Hotel bar when she like threw stuff around. I feel like that was a clear indication that there was something off about her character. And overall, I don't feel like this is confirmation that Veronica is alive. I feel like this was just Angela Robinson saying a thank you to the fans, pretty much showing us some of Veronica's key moments. But I do think she does survive the car wreck. I don't know if she's going to be, you know, paralyzed, have a disfigured face, amnesia, put into a coma, whatever the case may be. But I feel like even if she did die, there are some definite key moments that Veronica Harrington has had on the show, and she just wanted to share a few of her favorite with us. So with that being said, what are some of your favorite Veronica moments? Do you feel this is either confirmation that Veronica did survive the crash, or again, do you feel like it's just like me? Thank you to all the fans of the show, and Angela Robinson is just a very cool person. So with that being said, please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you in the next video.